Let's go, Meat Boys. No Mullarkey here. Definitely no bull. It's the Meatlock. You see the text, and it's Jamie Mullarkey taking on the bull, John Makdessi. And real quick, shout out to our most recent subs, Mark Mill, Tarina Warren, Jay Money, Opa Yeme Ah, and of course, Serve 5. Appreciate you grilling and chilling with the boys. And in this one, it's another Meatlock. We're trying to recover from last week's absolute Meatlock debacle, but we think Mullarkey is the guy to get it done in this one. The 29-year-old is fighting against the, I don't want to call him a legend, but definitely the OG Makdessi, the bull, who last time we saw him, it was against Nazareth Hack Press. It was last summer, and it was a light work performance for Hack Press, and we know all the Hazrat Meat Boys will be talking about him in the comments below, but it was not a good sign for Makdessi. He's lost 2 of 3. He picked up that split win over Bahamondes, but a lot of people thought that Bahamondes won that fight, and it was just kind of questionable. So it could be 3 straight L's for Makdessi. And while, yes, he's taking on Mullarkey, who in this one is about minus 205, and Mullarkey did just get slept by the Tajikistan meat boy Mohammed Naimov, but besides that, he was winning that fight. He was looking good up until that moment. And Jay Mullarkey is a young, tough killer. He only really loses 2 studs. I mean, Jalen Turner beat him, Fares ZM beat him, Brad Riddell, and then Volkanovski before that. So unless a near 40-year-old bull, John Makdessi, is somehow in the Volkanovski, Jalen Turner, Brad Riddell, and Naimov conversation, then this should be an absolute meatlock. So what are your thoughts on this one, meat boy? How do you think Mullarkey gets this one done? And is it going to be early enough?
You know, I think this is going to be an early and often one. Jamie Mullarkey is an absolute savage. Sure, he did just lose his last fight, but if you remember correctly, he was dominating until the oopsies happened. And so I think Jamie's going to bounce back. He learned his mistakes, and he's going to come up for showing. I mean, this is in his home area, and in Australia, and so he's got to throw it down for the fans. He's 6 foot versus 5'8". His reach has a big advantage. His height has a big advantage in his size and his youth. He's about 10 years older, and he is peaking while the other guy is out on his way to BKFC. So this is a lock nonetheless. I love seeing those minus 190. I feel like this should be a minus 490, to be honest. This is just one of those age, young, height, size. Hey, the bull's probably on his way out. This is to get Jamie right back in the win column and to really put a nice showing for, the Australia fans. The guys at UFC, they really know what they're doing when they do these matchmaking. I mean, look at Carlos Olberg's opponent. Look at Jamie Mullarkey's opponent. Not so much for Shane Young, because that guy kind of just loses to anyone and everyone, but they probably try to feed him a bone, but he'll probably lose still, sadly for him. But yeah, Jamie Mullarkey's definitely going to come through for the boys. Lock nonetheless.
Yeah, lock nonetheless for sure. And when you see these opportunities where we can sort of scheme like the rationale behind the matchmaking is a lot oftentimes when you can pick out the lock. So in this one, it is totally a fight for Jay Mullarkey to get back on track. And the most recent losses for Mullarkey was he was getting finished, right? Naimov and Jalen Turner finished him by strikes, but other than that, he basically loses decisions only. And I don't see a world Makdessi. I mean, he hasn't gotten a finish since 2015 or maybe even before that. So if the only pathway for the bull is somehow for him to get a YOLO KO, I don't see that happening given that his power hasn't been there since, I don't know, it's basically been gone for about 10 years. So I think Mullarkey is an easy lock on this one. Or we throwing down 205 to net, an easy 100. Should get us back on track from that dog lock fail. Cyril Gahn absolutely smoked. Who did he smoke again? Who was our meat lock last week?
Polar Bear. I was like, fuck.
Polar Bear. Polar Bear absolutely fumbled the bag, and we don't see Mullarkey doing that in this one. So throwing down 205 to net 100 should get us an easy 83rd meat lock. Keep us in the green in either outcome, but should be a get back on track lock for the homie Mullarkey in this one. Just like you touched on, the reach, the height, the age, basically everything that is a positive you can associate with Mullarkey. So we're going Jamie in this one. Any last thoughts on the meat lock?
No, 100%. Jamie Mullarkey's an absolute lock. Down in the comments. You riding with the meat boys, or are you fading with the bull?